Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the reality of being a natural bodybuilder. Now, if you're a natural bodybuilder like I am, you will notice that when you train, you don't just leave the gym after one workout and have instantaneous results. Or you can't just train 2 months and then all of a sudden have this beach body that's perfect in every single form, right? Back in the day, it used to drive me nuts because when I was personal training, I would always get these people that say, hey, I want to get in shape for my wedding. And don't worry, I don't want to get too big. I just want to look like you.
You know, wearing that flag on that jacket, looking the way you do, you're asking for trouble around here, friend.
And I'm like, okay, when's your wedding? And they're like, yeah, a couple months away. And I'm like, you do realize I've been training for 12, 13, 15 years at that point. That's when I was training. I've been training 35 years now, but when this was happening, I was already in the peak of my career competing and winning in natural bodybuilding shows. And I get these people come up and make just the stupidest comments and say, oh, don't worry, I don't want to get too big. I just want to look like you. But yeah, I don't want to get too big though. Don't make me too big. I just want to look like you.
You're brainwashed!
Right, so anyway, the hilarious thing is that this type of ignorance has become even worse now with Instagram and YouTube and social media and so forth, because what people see is the results from people training and they don't really see the time that was involved. And to make things even worse, they'll see some of the unnatural guys make these dramatic transformations within a few weeks or a few months, and then they'll assume that they can also do the same thing. So I want to educate you about the fact that natural bodybuilding isn't about a quick fix. It takes time. It takes about 10 years to get overnight results, right? 10 years. So when I was training and competing, I would see people all the time in the gym use performance enhancing drugs, and they would look better than me after only 3 or 4 months of training. Meanwhile, I had already been training for 8-9 years at that point, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that as a natural bodybuilder, you're in this for the long run. You're looking for results not only now, but also for results that you can carry for the rest of your life, or at least maintain for a much longer period of your life. So you're not looking for, how do I get big? How do I get big fast and get strong fast and be better than everyone else in 2 weeks? It doesn't work like iTunes. You know what I'm saying? You can't download a workout program and they get instantaneous results. But if you work hard and you're consistent, you will consistently get results that move you towards your goal. And that's really the basis of this. And the biggest benefit you get from this is that you become body aware. You start to realize through sensation what training technique is working and what training technique is not working, what diet is working and what diet's not working. You start to see and experience and learn step by step as you go. So you amass a massive amount of wisdom. And that's the biggest natural bodybuilding benefit. It isn't about just getting muscle or getting strength. It's that you gain this massive amount of body wisdom that you can apply in many aspects of your life. Even if you start to train for a different sport or work out in a different way or do some type of different exercise or activity, you'll notice that that body wisdom stays with you. I don't know why this guy shows up with armor. I mean, I wouldn't need armor, see? You guys wouldn't need armor. You know, that's my armor right there, see? Look at this. Now, the other pitfall that people fall for is that they'll switch up their training programs and they'll switch up their eating programs instantaneously because they're programmed or brainwashed by this quick fix society, where they feel if a program's not working within a week or two, then that means the workout is absolute crap. Or if their diet isn't working in providing Mr. Olympia-like results, they get rid of it before even realizing the benefit of the overall system in place. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 months for a workout program to really take effect, along with nutritional guidelines. So case in point, a couple months ago, I changed my main diet from protein and fats to more protein and starchy carbs, like complex carbs, lower glycemic as much as I could, but ultimately I'm eating more protein and carbs and some fat, just a moderate amount of fat, pretty low, like 20% or so of my diet, but it's mostly protein and carbs that I'm eating right now. Now, in the first week or two, I noticed that I lost a little bit of fat. I could notice that I was already more pumpy and lumpy. I already noticed that I looked a bit better in the mirror. But after about 3 weeks or so, it felt like my body just flatlined. It basically hit a wall where there was not really a lot of fat burning stuff happening. I was just maintaining, feeling good, but I was not necessarily making massive differences in my body. But I said to myself, bodybuilding is mainly about nourishment, not about starvation. And I want to continually feed the muscles and just trust in the process. And after another 3 or 4 weeks of doing this, all of a sudden, it was like my metabolism switched on, and then I lost another bit of body fat that is noticeable when I look in the mirror. But it took about 2 or 3 weeks of eating a certain way for the body to finally switch into some sort of fat burning sort of stage where it felt it was safe enough to let go of a little bit of the body fat that I had stored there, because I had established a precedent of eating enough nutrition and telling the body that it had enough food that's consistently fed to it, that it doesn't need to have the fat stores there just in case of a starvation emergency. So it took about 3 or 4 weeks. Now, what young people do, and even what I've done in my life, is sometimes, oh crap, I'm not getting instantaneous results. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to starve off the body a little bit. I'm going to lower down the carbs until I'm getting real big results every single week. And what ends up happening in a lot of cases is that you end up starving off a lot of the muscle tissue, the hard-earned muscle tissue. And that's one of the hardest things to maintain as a natural bodybuilder, along with, if you're an aging bodybuilder, you definitely don't want to be starving off the muscle, because it's already more likely to go in an easier way if you start starving yourself in any way, shape, or form. So my whole point is that when you stay the course and trust in the process, there are effects that take place in the body that you can't immediately see from day to day. And sometimes you cannot see them from week to week because a lot of them are metabolic. And then it takes a period of time for that switch to happen in the body in order for the external manifestation to happen, such as bigger biceps or maybe a little bit leaner body fat level or so forth. So you really want to get out of this social media mode of I'm going to train and then get instantaneous results. Train, keep your eyes on the goal, but at the same time realize that it's one step in front of the other, and eventually it leads you to your goal. And don't pay attention to the people who are cheating around you or the people that are not necessarily playing by the same rules. You know what I'm saying? And that's really one of the most important things I could tell you, because I used to get frustrated back in the day when I'd see people get instantaneous results from cheating. And then I'd be like, man, it's like I'm getting absolutely no credit in my life for what I've accomplished because these people are just outpacing me really fast because of what they're doing. But what I did was stay the course. And now I'm 49 years old, still with bodybuilding results. And most of those guys I'm talking about, a lot of them don't have any results to speak of except for health problems. So this is the thing you want to be aware of. This is a long-term plan. It's not a short-term approach to a physique. But the great part is that the longer it takes for you to achieve something, the more stable it will be and the more unconditional it will be. Oh man, see, now it's more like it. See, now I've got my posing trunks on. That was a vegetarian that tried to get me to the buzzer. That was a vegetarian. You see that? Vegetarians, you can't trust them. So anyway, I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgalandbodybuilding.com. And if you like podcasts and stuff like that, make sure you go to my Patreon page. The link is in the description. I do have a podcast there where I talk about all these sorts of concepts and lots of training techniques and tips and tricks. Mountain. Natural Land.